Noch in der Premier League das perfekte Spiel gezeigt in der Begegnung gegen Raymond van Barneveld. Der Neundarter, der erste Neundarter in dieser Premier League-Saison 2017. Vielleicht kann er ja hier in Jena nachlegen. Er hat sich qualifizieren müssen, hat das Hauptfeld erreicht und wir freuen uns, dass er hier in der Sparkassenarena mit von der Partie ist. Die Rede ist von Jackpot A.Lewis. A.Lewis tritt gegen einen Mann aus Nordirland an. 31 Jahre ist er alt und er hat sich in den letzten 18 Monaten in die Top 20 gespielt. Spielt aktuell wirklich die Darts seines Lebens, ist auf Position 19 vormarschiert und hat am vergangenen Wochenende auf der Pro Tour ein Ding gewinnen können und ein weiteres Finale erreicht. Er ist schwer zu bezwingen. Ich bin gespannt, was er uns hier und heute zeigen wird. Super Chin, Gurney!
On the way, and this should be the match of the day between Gurney and A.Lewis. Both players enjoying it. A bit of Neil Diamond in the walk-on there, and Lewis singing along as well with Gurney, but they're about to get on with some serious business, and it's just one of those quirks of the draw system. Lewis and Gurney both had to qualify for this event, and so were both put into the first round draw. The other top players join the action tomorrow. Well, Gurney must have been thinking, well, I'll probably take anyone apart from Lewis, and Lewis will probably have been thinking, well, I wouldn't mind avoiding Gurney. Hasn't happened. They're here, and we're going to love it. Rob Malarkey joins me, Chris Murphy, in the commentary box for what certainly is the highlight of the first round.
Yeah, it is the match of the day, no doubt about that. I'm pretty sure as well, Chris, that it will live up to all expectations, and it may even, you know, surpass them by some distance as well. Two-time world champion Lewis, UK Open champion 3 years ago, European champion, and a winner of this tournament in 2012, the German Darts Masters as well. But Gurney, well, life is pretty good for him right now, isn't it? Ever since.
First leg, Adrian to throw first. Game on.
Well, he's just been moving in the right direction for so long now. A World Championship quarter-final in December, a UK Open semi-final. He's been told to keep his diary clear for the World Series in Vegas in July. And then last Saturday, his first ranking title as well. And he was a match start away from another the following day in the Players' Championship Series. Nevertheless, he took home 16 grand last weekend, and certainly, as you say, was one of the players that Lewis would have been desperate to avoid. I suppose Barney would have been the other one, but Lewis
140.
Of course, took on Barney in Liverpool on Thursday night and came up with that magical moment with that 9-dart finish as well. But this is a different occasion, and it's Gurney who rattles in the first 180 of the match.
Yeah, well, just to give an indication of form, Gurney, before losing that final against Joe Cullen in a deciding leg, and as you mentioned, Rob, missed a match start at the bullseye. He'd won 13 matches in a row over the course of that weekend in Barnsley.
100.
Not many players would come in on such a crest of a wave, but then Lewis goes to Liverpool, fires in the 9-dart, averages 111 in his 7-4 victory against Raymond van Barneveld. Two players just coming in full of confidence, full of talent. We already knew that. So let's just see
140. If
either or even both can carry on where they left off, and Lewis is looking. Oh, he was looking at a 170 finish.
98.
Gurney to break in the first leg.
Yeah, indeed.
36.
Super Chin could make a super start here. Double 18 he wants for a break of throw in the opener, and that's exactly what he's got.
Second leg, Darrell to throw first.
Yeah, his only previous ranking final prior to last weekend had been at the 2016 Dutch Darts Masters, where he lost to Michael van Gerwen. And like I say, his spirits are very high, because he was told recently he was included in the World Series of Dartsfield for the US Masters in July. But having made so many semi-finals and so many quarter-finals, you know, he wouldn't be human if he hadn't been thinking at the time, will it ever happen? But everybody knew it was only going to be a matter of time. But Gurney still had to, you know, come up with a hard graft, and he certainly did that last weekend.
Well, yeah, it was before the weekend. We've mentioned it a couple of times. He was the highest ranked player without a PDC title. And he then passed that mantle on to Joe Cullen, who then ended his, 20-hour run as the highest ranked player without a PDC title. But interesting, that run you mentioned in Benray last year, that was en route to the final. Daryl Gurney got his only win so far against Adrian Lewis.
58.
Lewis has won 3 of their 4 meetings, but the only win that Gurney got was last year in the Dutch Darts Masters, and that was their only meeting on the European Tour.
58.
Gurney went on to lose to Michael van Gerwen in the final, and had to wait over a year for his next one. As you said, we thought that he'd win it pretty soon after that.
Yeah. Now we require 164.
But he's fallen at the semi and quarter-final hurdle. Now Lewis is poised to break straight back.
96. Adrian, you require 73.
Yeah, he's poised to. He's got work to do here, though, but double 80 once. That's just nudged the wire. And that's just slightly
57.
further away, so Gurney may just survive
68.
here. Well, he's found the treble 13 as well, so double 12 he wants now.
44.
And that is just
Adrian,
off beam as
16.
well.
And
Lewis makes no mistake
Adrian Lewis
with his latest attempt at
Adrian
double 8.
throw first.
Signs of a return to form have been there for Adrian Lewis as well. Adrian won a Players' Championship event in Milton Keynes a couple of weeks ago, beat Michael van Gerwen en route despite MVG firing in a perfect 9-dart leg. Kicking off with one of those. Lewis in the final missed double 12 for the 9-darter to win it before eventually ending up on double 1 and winning it then against Dave Chisnell.
Yes, 13 180s in that semi-final against Van Gerwen when he beat him 6-5.
83.
Van Gerwen with that missed dart at double 12. But yeah, Lewis, good to see him.
But it'd been a while.
It'd
been a while since he won an individual tournament. Yeah, him and Phil Taylor seem to win the World Cup of Darts almost every year. But individual tournaments had been
78.
a while for Adrian Lewis, and rocked up at Milton Keynes having not really been close. I think it got to one final in the last 6 months
93.
or so.
Adrian, you require 160.
Well, it's a big check out for Lewis, but he's more than capable of doing it, but not on this occasion. But he
100.
will be back. Has thrown another 9-darter this year as well, Adrian Lewis. It was in a 6-3 defeat by John Henderson in Barnsley in Players' Championship 2, as Gurney again looks to respond in kind and just apply a bit of pressure here on the Lewis throw. Tops then.
Game shot in the third leg, Adrian Lewis.
And Lewis.
Full Darrell to throw first. Game on.
Back in front at 2-1.
Gurney looking to kick off.
140.
180, but the third dart just flew high.
Just wonder what that will do for Daryl Gurney. Now he does have that ranking title under his belt. I suppose there are a lot of players out there who haven't got a ranking title to their name, who feel they perhaps should have and could have. But until you do it, it's a lot of ground to cover, and Daryl Gurney is covering the ground here in this fourth leg as well.
Well,
140.
It was interesting. He was asked about it after winning that match and asked if he felt that floodgates could open, and he said the opposite. He said he felt that, a target would now be on his back, and I don't know if that was him playing it down a little bit. Obviously,
I think to an extent it is, yeah.
Well, at the end of the match, he let out an almighty roar. So that, gave as many answers
100
to any question he could be asked in a post-match interview about what it meant to Daryl Gurney, who now looks at double 12 for an 11-dart leg to level up.
Fifth leg Adrian to throw first.
Yeah, level up indeed. Very contrasting fortunes on the European Tour stage for these two. No player last year, no player came through the UK qualifiers on more occasions last year than Gurney. Came through 8 of the 9 qualifying campaigns. He had to withdraw from 3 events, and he's looking at another 180 here as well.
180!
And they're just beginning to rack up, aren't they?
Yeah, both players were averaging over a ton before that visit from Adrian. Gurney's third 180 of the match.
Lewis only turned up for 3 European Tour events last year.
95.
And he was, in the end, a grand or so short of the cut-off point for European Championship qualification. Got his fingers burnt there. Won't want that to happen this time around.
Gurney, look at that, 107 average. Around the standard he played in the final he lost against Joe Cullen.
90.
Yeah, 107 average, but he's still at 2 apiece against Lewis. That's the step up in class, the gulf in class between, say, a match of this calibre and some of the matches that have gone before us already today.
36.
So Gurney with another chance to break it. One more of those to leave double eight. Daryl Gurney for a 3-2 lead.
20.
Not to be, but he will be back because Lewis is stuck on 2-4-3, and that's trimmed the 3 off. Oh dear.
23.
Well, Gurney's all the time in the world
16.
to finish this 16, but he only needs one more dart at it. And that is a break of throw, and Daryl Gurney,
6 leg Daryl to throw first.
Just shown that bit more quality so far.
And he's certainly the sort of player who's capable, once he gets his nose in front, he's capable of staying there. Lewis, I don't think, will be panicking too much just yet. Approaching the potential midway point of this match, assuming it does go a long way.
100.
Two players that play at a pace that we enjoy watching.
Yeah, certainly.
Similar rhythm.
100.
Haven't seen Lewis on the European tour since Hamburg last year, the European match play in May of 2016. He lost to Jelle Klaassen in round 3 in that one. And the winner will face Jelle Klaassen in round 2 tomorrow here as well. So history could well repeat itself for Lewis if he gets through this, but that's a big if at the moment.
57.
Well, it's a mouth-watering tie, whoever gets through. Still 3 more ties to come this evening. Dirk van Duijvenbode against Robert Thornton. Then the final German hub, Robert Marjanovic, looking to make it a clean sweep.
Who'd have thought that? Who would have thought that with that lineup in particular?
52.
Which includes
Asian Unicorn 121.
Unheralded Stefan Zietman as well, by the way.
81.
Yeah, he plays John Michael Marjanovic, and then Michael Ploy against Raymond van Barneveld, closing this show this evening. And Daryl Gurney, having done the hard work to get himself that break in front, is found himself again facing the prospect
56.
of Lewis levelling
40.
up and taking back the throw.
Yeah, he's a difficult player to shake off, is Adrian Lewis, at the best of times. And, well, he's got 2 more goes at double 20. That's a long way below the wire, so double 10 is not a problem.
And a 6 flag, Adrian Lewis.
And it's an instant break back, and Lewis
7 flag, Adrian to throw first.
At 3 apiece. Good game, good match so far, and you just feel that both players are able just to turn it up a degree or 2 here as well.
58. Lewis has just had a few more loose visits than Daryl Gurney has had. He just seemed to refocus himself 96. At the right time at every turn so far.
But right off Adrian Lewis, just when you think he may just be going off the boil a little bit, he comes up with a 180 like that, just a little acknowledgement as well towards the crowd as he makes his way to the back of the stage.
Well, that's 5 in 6 legs from this pair, who haven't hit the heights that they reached, at least Adrian in the Premier League on Thursday, and Daryl in the finals that we saw him play on the live stream last weekend, but still a very good standard game. Much higher standard than some games we've seen.
Which is fair to say.
Adrian's had a 180 in the leg. Now Daryl fires in a 174. And Lewis needs a treble here.
58.
And he's not got one.
Oh, you require 131.
So once again, Gurney is looking at the prospect of another break back hit. 51 away.
99. Asian Unicorn.
And that sets it up very nicely indeed, unless Lewis can pounce all over it, which he can't.
He's going to set it up just in case that's unlucky.
That's desperately unlucky. Points on the floor there, 74 away. But Gurney, you'd fancy him to take out double 16 here. Double 8 he wants instead now. Awkward, potentially. Yeah, just inside the wire as well. I think it just slightly deflected off the dart that was already on the board. And Lewis let back in here, 20 for tops.
It's awkward. But he finds a way. Adrian Lewis finds a way.
Edge at the head. To throw first. Game on.
And most of the statistics are pointing to the fact that Gurney's being the better player in the match. But Adrian Lewis leads the only one that counts.
180.
Well, the match of the day is certainly living up to its billing so far.
98.
And that's the sort of match that we anticipated might go the distance, and that is certainly looking increasingly likely here. Daryl Gurney, 5 perfect darts, make that 6.
Well, that's now 7 180s in as many legs from this pair. Adrian Lewis
57.
hit a perfect leg in Liverpool on Thursday. Can Daryl Gurney do one in Germany today?
No, he can't, is the answer. Collective groan around the Sparkassen Arena.
65.
Would have been a fair amount of irony had Gurney managed to take that out against Adrian Lewis, who's fired 2 this year.
81. 15. Now you require 76.
9 dart legs we've witnessed in 2017. Yet to see one on the European Tour in 4 years almost now. Double 8s. It's
60.
Bounced out for Gurney. But it's not a problem at the moment with Lewis on 265.
Experienced competitor Adrian Lewis, 2-time world champ.
98.
He'll know
he requires 16.
This is only for a hold of throw to level for Daryl Gurney. It won't phase him, the 9 dart attempt. And
game short in the 8th leg. Daryl Gurney, 9th leg Adrian to throw first.
You can see Lewis now. Oh.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Lewis was lurking on 167 there.
59.
He took out a 164 against Chizzy, didn't he, recently? And he's the sort of player that can do that sort of thing.
Well, the thing is, even when players like Adrian Lewis, even when he's not showing any signs in any given match that they're going to do, it's invariably they pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah.
140.
4 apiece. Lewis with the advantage of throwing first. Gurney looking to eat into the cushion that Lewis has established here. And then some high caliber contest now.
See there, Daryl Gurney over 10 points ahead on the average. 5 180s he's had. Now he's got a chance here. Lewis only a few points ahead, but again, when he really needs it against a throw, can't open up a big enough advantage, although...
Yeah, he's down to a finish first, and you can't really ask for more than that after 9 darts against the throw.
Well, it was a big combination finish, and he's going to put pressure on this 104. He's going to put a lot of pressure on this 104. Adrian Lewis, this may have to go. It hasn't gone, and Gurney will be back for a break.
96.
And all of a sudden,
the
tables have turned.
Double 9, problematic, potentially. Not for Daryl Gurney, a break in the 9th leg. And he's now throwing first for the match.
10th leg, Daryl to throw first.
Perfect time to break. Or in Gurney's case, a perfect time to break again.
Well, it's a game that is often about timing. Has Daryl Gurney timed this to perfection? And then you see
61.
The following leg doesn't go off, and Adrian Lewis...
He's got to be ruthless here. Has to be ruthless. He has to find another one of those.
100.
Oh,
just the one.
Yeah, must have been close. We couldn't quite tell. Very, very high. A couple of times in this leg. Daryl Gurney's gone. He's corrected that now.
140. $58.
Well, the performance from Daryl Gurney is certainly worthy of a win over the world number 4. Can he get over the line?
100.
Well, if he does, you'd have to fancy his chances for the entire weekend, really. He's gone close before, And when you look at his record last year, he was beaten by Van Gerwen twice.
59.
He was beaten by Gary Anderson, Peter Wright and Mensur Sulovic twice as well. So it's always been a case of Gurney having his run ended by a high-quality player.
100.
And if he does get through this, he'll have another high-quality player to play tomorrow as well in the shape of Jelle Klassen, but he's still got work to do, but he's moving steadily towards the finish line here.
140.
Well, we talked about timing.
Oh, you
A
recall
180 there from Lewis would have been perfect to put the pressure on. Gurney may look at two double tops, and he stayed there. So Lewis will get a shot at this 144.
60. Adrian, you recall
Timing,
144.
Well, he needs precision as well as timing here. That's not a bad first dart. Needs to back it up with another. Yes, he's got it. Double 12. Oh, Adrian Lewis. Absolutely sensational.
Adrian Lewis.
Breaks back, levels things up, and
first.
now it's Lewis's turn to throw first for the match. And Daryl Gurney must be absolutely sick as a dog.
And we discussed it just minutes ago that players like Adrian Lewis can produce that from absolutely nowhere. Can Gurney regather?
100.
That is why Adrian Lewis is a two-time world champion and the current number 4 on the order of merit. Absolutely sensational darts.
60.
And it just ramps the pressure back onto his opponent here. But Lewis still has to make the most of this final leg and the fact he was throwing first. Gurney yet to post a treble on this
60.
visit, and his head has just dropped there. You can see the shoulders slump ever so slightly as well. Lewis still needs to respond in kind here. And he's done precisely that.
134.
Yeah, a little acknowledgement as well from Lewis as he plucks his darts out of the board as well.
I think it was as much for Daryl Gurney's benefit as anyone else in this arena.
85.
I think so too, Chris. Absolutely.
Crowd captivated in this deciding leg. And has Adrian Lewis completely turned the tables with that excellent 144 checkout. He's down to a match shot.
Treble's eluding Gurney at the moment here.
41.
And that will not
Adrian,
be anywhere near good
110.
enough, and Lewis has all the time in the world to wrap this up. He's 90 points away. Won't be finishing it here and now,
86.
but he's going to set it up very, very nicely indeed. He's double 12 away. He took it out in the last leg, and you'd fancy his chances to do it again here and now as well.
140. Adrian,
Although if there is any
24.
slip-up, Gurney is lurking once again, waiting in the wings. Double 6 for Adrian Lewis.
80.
And he's inside the wire. The agony goes on.
Well, the 144.
Now you require
looks to
75.
have all but won the match for Adrian Lewis. And he's missed 3 clear darts in the deciding leg. Gurney will only get 1 dart at double top to rescue it.
Okay,
and he does exactly that. Great game of darts. Gurney did everything he could and looked to have had the stuffing knocked out of him by Adrian Lewis. He thinks it was rubbish. We thought it was all right, and the crowd enjoyed it too. Daryl Gurney through a 6-5 win against Adrian Lewis produced the highlight of the match. But it wasn't enough to see him through to round 2. Gurney goes through, and we'll hear from him in just a moment, talking to our MC, Elmar Polka.
Wunderbar bei Daryl Gurney. Bezwingt die Nummer 4 der Welt. Bezwingt Jackpot Adrian Lewis. Und damit schafft die erste richtig dicke Überraschung hier beim German Darts Masters 2017. Daryl, congratulations. That was interesting at the end, wasn't it? This 144 checkout was brilliant from Adi. But at the end, you were the winner again.
By a bit of luck. The 144 was special, and then I thought then he was just going to beat me in the last leg easy. So whenever I looked up and he missed the, I don't care, whatever he was on, he missed it anyway, and I took out the 75. I was like, unbelievable.
Are you playing the darts of your life right now? With this weekend, with this last weekend, winning a tournament, reaching a final, beating Adrian Lewis now. It looks brilliant.
No, I'm playing very well, but that game I wasn't very good. I don't know what the averages was, but they play against 80 and just win. Doesn't matter if it's 6-1, 6-0, 6-5. See, as long as you win, that's all that matters.
What's possible here in Jena? Everything is possible, huh?
Well, I'm not here to make up the numbers, for one thing, so I'm here to try and win this, and that's the aim.
See you tomorrow again. Thank you very much. Daryl Gurney. Der ist sehr zufrieden mit dem, was er hier zeigt. Er hat eigentlich gedacht, nachdem Lewis diese 144 checkt, dass der auch das letzte Leck gewinnen würde. Hat ein bisschen Glück gehabt.